What's good, YouTube? It is your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Sports TV, and I am back with another video. This is breaking news out of the NBA. A little over an hour ago, the Oklahoma City Thunder traded eight-time NBA All-Star and former league MVP Russell Westbrook, the man who has averaged a triple-double for the last 3 seasons, to the Houston Rockets in exchange for perennial All-Star, future Hall of Famer Chris Paul, who had a tumultuous tenure with the Rockets due to his strenuous and strained relationship with also perennial All-Star and former MVP James Harden. Those two guys just didn't click. And the Rockets, who were desperately looking to add a significant star, whether it was Jimmy Butler, Paul George, whoever, finally was able to get the guy in Westbrook that they wanted. And this bodes well for them because Westbrook and James Harden are familiar with each other. They're good friends, former teammates back in OKC. While things have changed, James Harden has definitely grown into his own as a superstar in this league, as well as Westbrook. These two having a stable and solid, personal relationship with no doubt in my mind helped them too on the court. And if you ask me, both teams walk out of this as winners. OKC will get Chris Paul for the next 3 to 4 years. They still got Steven Adams, along with some young assets, and they got like 8 first-round picks that they have acquired since last month when the NBA draft took place. So they setting themselves up for a big future, whether they use those first-round draft picks to actually draft incoming players out of college and overseas, or they package those picks and get a marquee player in the future. Sam Presti is one of the best general managers in the NBA. He learned under the great R.C. Buford while he was working with the San Antonio Spurs. So, he did what he had to do after shocking the world, trading Paul George to the L.A. Clippers for Danilo Garnelli and I forget the other guy's name, and the point guard that got drafted out of Kentucky last year. It was time that Russell Westbrook be dealt, and they were, in talks with my team, the Miami Heat, on trying to send him there, but they wanted too much. They wanted Bam Adebayo, they wanted Justin Winslow, they wanted Tyler Herrero, our first-round draft pick out of Kentucky, I believe, who's been lighting it up in the summer league, averaging over 20 points. That was just too much. And they wanted us to take on the expiring contract of Andre Roberson, which is a no-go. Maybe if he was playing because he's one of the premier defenders when healthy. But he missed all of 2018. And for us to take on Westbrook, which we had no problem with doing, it's fine. But you want us to take on the expiring contract of Andre Roberson, a guy who is just been torn apart by injuries as of late. That's a no-go. And while we don't get the other superstar to, compliment Jimmy Butler, we still keep those 3 prime pieces, and we still got Goran Dragic. We got Kelly Olynyk. We got Dion Waiters. We got James Johnson. We still have a very, very, very good team. If Herrero continues to develop and can be consistent in his first year in the league, that'll be a big boost because he's 6'5" and he can light that bitch up from long range. And Justice Winslow, you know what I'm saying, he is developing. He's 6'7". He can play the point. He stepped in for Dragic when he went down last year for a long stretch of the season. And Adebayo, he is now the guy. He has been given the keys. He's the starting center. They shipped out Hassan Whiteside to the Portland Trail Blazers, and that shows the confidence that they have in him. So we should see, man. But I think it's a good trade for both the Houston Rockets and the Oklahoma City Thunder, who both get better. The Rockets get better immediately. the Thunder get better, but it's gonna take some time because, like I said, 8 draft picks. They got a lot of willing and dealing they can do. A lot of big time high school players, college players, players from overseas will be, coming up to the forefront now as they continue to develop their games. And once we see how these players translate from high school to college, and from the pros over in the overseas, they can assess who they like to draft, and replace, Paul George and Russell Westbrook. But this is a devastating end of an era for Oklahoma City. It started with the departure of James Harden when they traded him back, 4 or 5 years ago, and then Serge Ibaka, and then Kevin Durant departing for Golden State and acquiring Paul George and then trade him, and now trading Westbrook, a guy that showed true commitment and true dedication to the franchise. But hey, the writing was on the wall. Once they traded Paul George after getting bounced in the first round last year in 5 games against the Portland Trailblazers, there was nothing else to be done with that, and it was time for all parties involved to move on. So we shall see, man, how this shakes out for the upcoming NBA season. Will this move get the Rockets over the hump? We shall see, man, because they got Clint Capella still, got Eric Gordon. Um, they pretty much got everybody. Gerald Green back on a 1-year deal. They got some solid pieces, man, and with D'Antoni, that running gun offense, we're gonna see how effective Russell Westbrook can be and how well he gets acclimated to his teammates. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you drop those comments in the comment section down below. If you enjoy the content throughout the channel, please hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications to be notified every time I upload content. Until next time, I am out. Peace.